Alright boys, welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about AI. So this is one topic which literally nobody talks about when it comes to organic dropshipping. So I want to start off by saying that although it has been around for a while, there's a few things which everyone uses for. For example, the website. This is a no-brainer. Everyone uses it for the websites. In particular, people who are going for the free themes. So if you don't want to pay for Shrine theme, it's a no-brainer to go for an AI website. But there is a few things which nobody talks about, and these are the areas which I would like to tap today, because this is what actually made me print this Q4 and what I continue to do, because trust me, like, the game has changed completely. So clothing brands, for example, they're blowing up the internet right now because AI is creating the wow factor hooks. So AI video or AI effect, and then that design itself is AI made. So there's a lot of things which I would like to talk about, but this is obviously for organic dropshipping. So it can apply to clothing brands and any other organic marketing product. So the first element, or the first pillar, besides the website, I'm gonna get back to the website in a bit, but the very first pillar is gonna be AI images. In other words, AI creatives, as people like to call it. Because in the paid ads space, they're actually using the very same tools that I'm about to share to you guys, but the only difference is that they actually pump these ad creatives, and they usually uh, bind it with really good copywriting to make it sell. But for our case, we are creating these images for either our Instagram, so creating a good landing page. So I'm gonna put here a list of what we can use these images for. We can use it for creating a branded looking IG, because that's your first landing page. The second thing is for your website. So these are the first two landing pages, in my opinion. Number one is your Instagram. In other words, maybe I should highlight the word Insta, because this is really important for you to understand. A lot of people don't put effort into making their Instagram page look presentable or trustworthy. And how can you do that? Few things. Firstly, the highlights. Okay, you want to create a few highlights, not a lot of them, but very compact and effective way of using highlights. So you could have literally a page. This is your page here. That's your name. So the bio should be very simple. A lot of people, what they like to do is put an emoji here and then type something, and then maybe an arrow downstairs, link or buy here, and then they type the text here. So here's the website, and then here's the bio, but then the highlights is what is kind of interesting, because you just need over three. One could be the feedbacks, one could be FAQ, and then the third one could be literally just highlights. Okay. The second step is, nobody tends to put effort on their first tab. So here you got the posts, here you got the reels, and so on. So everyone just reposts the reels onto the post side. But I would argue, if you were to remove the reels from this side and then just add, a few pictures here, so maybe 3 or 4 pictures which are really high quality, using AI image tool, which I'm going to talk about here, AI Studio. In other words, Nano Banana, you may have heard about it. I hope you've heard about it, because I've been talking about this for the past, 4 months. Then, no, okay. This is your best tool to create images. So that's one. Next is the website. So your landing page, preferably, some people like to argue that collection page is better than home page. I tested both, okay? I'm not going to give you a final conclusion, but I personally prefer homepage. If you could create a highly brandable looking picture for your landing page, so even if it was your product page, okay, that applies to it too. You need to create some sort of high quality image, regardless of what page you're landing them to, because that's your advantage. So if you have 10 other competitors, your best advantage is, apart from the product itself, literally the way you portray it to customers. So if you're selling the exact same product, this is your product, and there's literally 10 other people selling the same thing. The only way you can compete with them is either with the price, which I would not recommend, or the branding. So, what would you rather do? Because the branding could not only increase your CVR, but also you can literally get away selling it for more than your competitors because of the high perceived value. So, why not go for this route instead of that route? Oftentimes, in fact, when you compete on price, as crazy as it sounds, the cheaper the product, the more they suspect that it's a cheap quality product. So, hopefully, this is clear. Actually, I'm gonna keep this so you guys can keep this in mind. Let's get back to the landing page. So that's one. Okay, I've spoken about this in the past. Like my landing page, I put literally a good amount of work into it using Nano Banana, and you would be surprised because the more you use it, so if you were to use AI Studio for the first time, you would be surprised that the quality is really good from the first attempt. But the secret is to keep on trying, because if you are, experienced enough with creating or, prompting a lot, you're going to be used to the outcome. So at one point you wouldn't be satisfied enough with any result. You would need to put maybe an hour of prompting till you get something that's, you know, like the 1%, which nobody would go that far for. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is your competitors might just prompt once and then pick the first outcome. Okay? I'm the type of person who would literally prompt 100 times and take that as my, my creative. So this may take longer, but based off my personal experience, even at the time, I thought I was spending or wasting too much time for it, especially the landing page image. I took like 4 to 5 hours. It wasn't constant 4 to 5 hours, but in total, I would say like 3+ hours. And at the time, I thought that I'm wasting my time. But then looking back at it, the ROI was crazy, because every single customer who went to my store, they landed to that image, which I spent 3 hours on. And that's how I got 1% plus CVR during Q4. So really important, guys. Put more effort on prompting and just learning how to prompt so that you get what you want. I'm going to give you a few tips about AI Studio. So you need to give reference. Okay. At the start, it could give you like something which is completely original if you just prompt like text to image. But once you get your first image, which you can create as a foundation, so you want to keep on prompting till you find this one foundational image. And that's where things get exciting, because you could create a new chat for your AI Studio and then attach this image as a reference and then start editing to it. So define exactly what you want. And then here's the trick. So the more you go down through the prompt, so this is your chat. I should be showing you the page, but it's okay. This is your chat on AI Studio. So this is your very first prompt with an image attached. So this is the attachment and this is the text. You're gonna get a higher outcome on the first attempt than on the 10th attempt. Do you know what I mean? So you're better off always working on the first attempt than going down the rabbit hole. That's one. And then two, the quality decreases the more you re-prompt the image. So if you prompt the same image 10 times, so you get 10 different outcomes. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the way till the 10th one, this is going to be lower quality than the first one, believe it or not. So it's a few tricks here and there which I had to learn, by doing it myself for long enough. And you may wonder, like, okay, do I just keep on opening new chats to get the highest quality? No. You could type the text once, and then you click enter, you get the outcome here, the picture. If you don't like it, there's a pen here. If you place the mouse here, you'd see a pen uh, in the chat of your prompt. Place the mouse on it, you see a pen. Click on that, restructure your prompt, and then click Control Enter, and then it will create a new image. So it's a few tricks I wanted to clarify so that you make the most out of this tool. And this is probably like the main reason why I stood out. Like, I came into an industry for my product which I had competitors far more advanced than me, like when I first started. But now, like after this Q4, I was able to actually take a big cut of the market against my competitors. I'm in contact with one of them, and literally, although he was far ahead of me, as crazy as it sounds, I did better than him. Although he's been in the game way longer than me. So my biggest advantage was AI. Hopefully this is clear. Okay, so that's the first pillar, AI images. Number two, actually I kind of linked it to the website. So the only difference between those two is that here you're creating images for the website, but then here you're actually creating the theme with AI. So I'm I'm not gonna give you like a specific name for the theme, but based off what I've seen of others or even my affiliate team members who are not buying Shine, so they often go for the free ones, and they're often from some AI builder. And surprisingly, the quality of their themes is exactly the same as mine from Shrine. So nothing sponsored here. I'm just telling you like what I've seen and what I have approved of. So that one looks literally the same as mine. Surprise! I don't know how they don't get copyrighted, these AI builders, but yeah, the quality is really good. So you should be using the AI themes if you don't want to use Shrine. Okay, I want to add one more thing to the AI images because this is really important. A lot of people, until this day, they use their stock images from their supplier or from their competitors as a product image. So I spoke about the landing page images, but I haven't spoken about the product image itself. I'm gonna put that under the theme because that's really important. So this will apply to your product image and also to if you're using some sort of bundles, then Kaching bundle images. And this is really important once again because you could literally stand out from your competitors just because you have a way more sophisticated or just different. Like when they open 3 different stores, they see everything's the same. Like something's off, right? But then if your images are just on a different league or level from your competitors, then it's a no-brainer they're gonna buy from you. So this is once again gonna help you to look like a brand. Okay, now the Kaching bundle, so if you're selling 2 or even 3, you could create good looking bundles also with AI. I want to give you a secret sauce which nobody talks about as well, is CapCut Pro. So CapCut Pro has recently, I think it's been a few months, they partnered with Nano Banana Pro. So I think Nano Banana Pro came like 2 months ago. That's where they created this integration, and I've tested both recently to see whether it's better than AI Studio or not, and in certain scenarios it's actually better. Why? Because of this. So if you want to create creatives for paid ads or any sort of image with text, okay, then you want to use CapCut Pro with Nano Banana over AI Studio. So AI Studio will only create you images, but then when it comes to text, where was it? I think it was here, yeah. So next would be if you want to create an image with text, okay? So let's say you want to write here Black Friday on top of some image, and then you want to give it some sort of design, some sort of copywriting to it. Use Nano Banana Pro on CapCut, because you could click on something called edit elements, and this is a very OP feature, very overpowered feature, because it literally breaks down every element of the image. So you could literally snap a picture, put it in there, click on edit elements, it just breaks down everything, and then you could edit everything on your own. So you create an original picture by dissecting it basically. So this is a very good feature that I'd recommend you guys check. And yeah, it's literally Nano Banana, so it's good. It's under the AI lab. So I think I've given all the sauce regarding the AI images. The only thing missing now is the marketing. And the fourth one, I'll have to think about it on the go because this is once again very transparent video. So marketing. This is where it gets a bit spicy because I've seen only a few select number of brands which are using AI properly for their organic dropshipping products. Number one is clothing brands. This doesn't mean we need to sell clothing brands like clothing products to be able to market like them, but we could be inspired by them because they're already implementing AI effects. So although they're not creating the video entirely by AI, instead they're using some sort of AI effects to create this wow factor in the hook to get your attention. And then number two is dropshippers. They are creating hooks or even entire videos with AI. So these are the two routes or two patterns I've seen so far over the past 3 months. And honestly, I think the clothing brand is getting more attention right now with the AI effect because it's still trustworthy original content, but then it has a very powerful AI effect, which makes it clear that, you know, they're creating original content, but they're adding it just for that attention at the start. So it doesn't break the trust. In my opinion, when you create an entire video with AI, it breaks the trust. So I would preferably just focus on the hook. Okay, create like a 3 to 6 second video, or clips which you attach or stitch using AI, and that's when you link it with your original content at the end. Because yeah, there's some sort of like, trust me, I've said this because there's some sort of distrust which is happening recently, and I can feel it as a consumer as well. So when I'm checking these brands, even as a dropshipper, I wouldn't trust them. So let alone a customer who's trying to purchase from them. So better off focus on the hooks. If you can use some sort of tool which will like create an entire video with such insane quality, then sure, you can go ahead. But from what I've seen so far, they're not creating like a very realistic video, so might as well focus on the hook. Now, what tools are they using? 90% of the time, they're using Nano Banana Pro, and this is where you could create videos. Now, there's 11 labs if you want to add some like text to speech. Then you can combine them together. There's some lip syncing. You can literally just search them up. A lot of lip syncing AI. But for the most part, you're not even creating like a TikTok shop sort of video where someone's speaking. No, we're just creating some hook which we couldn't create otherwise using AI, and just using it for the hook to grab the attention. So most of the time you don't even need those two. You just need to create with Nano Banana Pro and use it as a hook. So yeah, marketing is something still under development, still under, like even the market is not very established yet. Like we cannot even say that this is the perfect way to market yet because only few people are doing it. And when I put them on a paper, like who's going the most viral right now, is someone who's using some sort of AI to their marketing. So this is something which a lot of energy should be put into at the moment. If you have been dropshipping for a while, you're not going viral, perhaps you should learn how to create content with AI. Lastly, now we've spoken about the first three pillars. So primarily branding, creating your website, and marketing. The only thing left with AI is the backend. So pretty much anything from setting up your setting up everything like the customer support, your policies, everything. This is the boring part, but this is what matters as well, and nobody seems to put any effort into. The backend is what will hold everything together, and AI actually makes it way easier because AI is like a mentor. So whenever there's a problem, you just ask it, and it solves it for you. Personally, I use AI for that as well. So yeah, I think those are the four pillars which you should be focusing on. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything, but this is like pretty much what I do at the moment. And the marketing is, in my opinion, the one which has the most potential because this is like the newest. Everything else is already out there for you. I literally broken it down for you. So these two are what led me to literally hit new records this Q4. But the marketing is something I'm trying to tap into because I've never needed it, but now I'm seeing new opportunities, new trends, which wouldn't be possible to copy without AI. So once I go viral with it, once I test it more, perhaps I'll show you guys a more in-depth video about the marketing section. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something new from this. And if you'd like to join my Discord, it's in the bio. Feel free to subscribe as well. There's nothing to sell here, but if you'd like to join my affiliate program, it's also in our community where you could just DM me and we could work together. You get a mentorship, one-on-one calls, and cuts per sales. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.